Hello, and welcome to another week of Reclaimers. This week we are continuing our game of Castles in the Air, or a little sort of hack of the hack, Sandcastles in the Fog. But before we even get into that, the first thing I'm going to have everybody do is I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves, what they're doing, and their characters, starting with JP.
Hello. Sorry, I got distracted. What the hell is
Well,
Microsoft?
first question is, who are you?
Sorry.
I started
It just
off with an
popped
easy
up.
one.
Sorry. It just popped up talking about, do you want to try AI? No, I don't. I thought I turned you off. Um, yeah, so I'm JP Fairfield. I'm currently fighting with my laptop. Um, I use she, her
Professionally, that's my
pronouns.
job.
Uh, you can find me on my card with my socials at jpfairfield.carrd.co. You can also find me on a podcast called Orgasm Noir Network with D and four other Black women called Orgasm Noir Network. The card is orgasmnoir.carrd.co. You'll see all the stuff that we do. And I play Esther James, and she also used she, her pronouns.
Alrighty, and Inda.
I'm Enda. I am a writer and a podcaster. I am half a podcast called Black Girl Squee, and I have some music playlists I curated over Mixcloud at Lauren. She, her pronouns. You can find my information. Uh, I think it's Enda's Corner at carrdx.co. And I am playing Rosemarie O'Neal, also she, her.
And Diana.
Hello, everybody. I go by Diana Moon online. I use she, her pronouns. You can find me on Twitter still and Blue Sky at Diana Moon, or Twitch and YouTube as X Diana Moon X. I am the facilitator, but I'm also playing Matty Diaz, he, him, the prince. I was like trying to remember which one am I? And I don't have anything. No, wait. Something is coming up. What is it? Hold on.
You got stuff happening.
I
I have
know she got so many things to do because she is in high demand, people. High
She
demand.
is busy, busy, busy.
Yeah, so busy, so busy. Yeah, sometime this week, what is it? June 8th, on twitch.tv/that's how we roll underscore, will be the live premiere of Shakespeare's Hamlet, where I got to play a couple of very, very, very small roles in it, but with other talented queer actors, voice actors, and other actual play people. So be sure to check that out. And I'll get to other stuff when I am a spoiled golden child. I've always been. That's the problem. But that's where I am for now.
And Chris.
Hi, my name is Chris, he, him pronouns. I write about RPGs. If you go over to WordPress and look up deeper in the game, I'm playing Mark Sui, also he, him pronouns.
And of course, my name is Deanna Jones. I am she, they pronouns. I am a writer and a podcaster. You can find everything that I'm doing everywhere so far over at my card, nanicoolj.carrd.co. The only thing that I was working on that was particularly special was this game. Me and Diana were two of the sensitivity readers for this game. I am playing Minnie Mae Smith. She uses she, her pronouns, and she is excited about traveling the world. Maybe, possibly. We'll see where her life takes her.
Awesome. Just as everybody should know, this is a game that's currently being kickstarted. We only have 6 days left. Just hit the Australian amount of 60,000 Australian dollars, which means we unlock the Firebrand childhood role. And then if we can, it'd be great to hit at least 10,000 more, but maybe more than that, to get a City Guides stretch goal hit, which will help as stated, like in the beginning of this whole campaign, we are running my special little like hack of Castles in the Air, where it's set in San Francisco, where it's set in when San Francisco is technically a city, but it's still kind of not. It's in its growing pains. It's only been a couple of decades since it was a mining tent town. So it's really fascinating to see how quickly things grow and such. And if anybody in the audience has any questions regarding the game designer is actually in chat. She's feeling a little sick, but it's her birthday weekend, so shout out, happy birthday to you, Neko, and thank you for watching. And hopefully we'll get through the rest of childhood today. So last week a lot of shenanigans happened, some very not so wholesome guidance chapter scenes happened, went way wild than I ever expected. And we did epistolary, and now we're on to our final novel chapter, which I believe we have a couple of scenes we want to do, but I think we vaguely mentioned we want, which I don't have the note here for, to have another event, I think, or did we want it just to be simply a series of visitations for the final one?
I think we wanted it to be a series of visitations.
Okay. Yeah. And actually, before I forget, I want to read out our wishes so that we have it all in our heads. See Rosemary's book knowledge coming out, interaction with the older kids, Rosemary reactions to finally understanding the book, see Jessie perform and talking about it, and then Matty to find out Esther's response, and then maybe if we can fit in exploring San Francisco as kids, because we came up with a bunch of cool stuff for our neighborhood and such. There's that. And then, so yeah. Banana Peel Street. I forgot it. We wrote that down. And then after this, just so we know what's coming on, after novel chapter will be our final bosom enemy, I believe, and then Passage of Time, which is one of my favorite things, and that's probably majority of what we'll be able to get to. If we don't get to transition to adulthood, but if we get to Passage of Time, I'll be very happy. Yeah, since I haven't uploaded the latest episode, and I don't know if you got a chance to catch it, Neko, but Chris, did you want to re-explain what the Banana Peel Street reference is?
Yeah, so basically, back in the day, we didn't have very good trash collection. And apparently, I don't know why. Apparently, my people, Chinese people, loved bananas, and there was an entire street in Chinatown that was like 2 inches deep of banana peels, and it was basically a health hazard because people were slipping and falling. And so the whole joke of people sliding on banana peels, in fact, came from people really slipping on banana peels.
That's fantastic. Definitely something I never heard about before, so that's so cool. Alrighty, so we have shopping montage, Esther and Smith's dinner. Do we want to do the older kids first, or does anybody have an idea of what they want to see first?
I would love to see the other kids first, because personally.
Awesome. Yeah, we can do that. So let me see. Let me just double check something over in our town/neighborhood stuff. I kind of like the idea, and then it's something that our kids did find out about. The older teens are the ones that are going to haunt the Shanghai tunnels. They're going to go check it out, or at least attempt to, like, you know, like maybe they're just hanging out with the equivalent of drinks, like
We're
at the
Scooby
entrance.
doing it.
Yeah. So, the kids that we have are Roy Brown, he, him, 16. He is the son of the first family that Rosemarie befriended. Then we have Eula Mae Smith, she, her, 19, Minnie's older sister. And then we have Jessie Swee, she, he, they, 19, Mark's older sibling. So that would just leave Dee and Inda. What can we do for you two?
Well, I would definitely be Minnie.
Oh, you think you tag along?
Yeah. Because
You think you're an older kid now?
well, no, I think what it is Minnie is because she's like the middle of like the groups, like she's the
yeah.
oldest one out of like the kids group, but the baby out of like the older group. So like she's very much in a position where she's like trying to figure out stuff.
It could also be like close to her birthday or something like that.
It
Or
could
her
also be
birthday.
close to her birthday.
Yeah.
You know, can't say no. Like, can I tag along? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And as a brief reminder, and this is a way that you can like insert interesting things into, similar to like when we played Die Laughing, you have resolve tokens. You can always throw resolve tokens at people to like add an interesting element. Obviously, this is a realistic game and not like some of the other Good Society games where there's like horror or spirits. But it could be like maybe it's just a homeless person, but it sounds like a ghost or something. You want to offer that up or anything like wacky ideas happening. So feel free to incorporate that or throw a monologue token at anybody. So
Throw a monologue token at anybody sounds so violent. Just beat them straight in the face.
yeah, and then they respond by with feelings.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I want everybody who's there to give us a detail about like, are we sneaking into like a bar club that has one of those Shanghai trapdoors, or did we find like an entrance elsewhere?
Well, I feel like if Minnie is going to be coming along, Eula Mae is going to avoid the bar one. And like, there's probably another one that is more kid friendly that they can go through.
None of it is kid friendly. We are going to haunted tunnels.
I mean,
Abandoned infrastructure in the 1800s. Like, this is all the stuff that would happen on Fat Albert that nowadays you'd be like, them kids gotta get tetanus shots every 2 hours. What's happening?
So much tetanus. That's how you get lockjaw, because you're jumping off of stuff.
It's like Oregon Trail under your block.
Excellent.
Right.
How about this, just so we can incorporate a bit of like both? The older kids are just like going to check the banana peel street, and we find a trapdoor that leads into like there's like some like scratched out thing that says like beware,
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay. Once we get into the tunnel, JP, do you have any like thing you want to see in the tunnel that's a detail that we'll discover?
I think something that you would not expect to be in a tunnel. And however, yeah, I want to
Ghosts.
figure out
You'll never
what that
expect
is.
ghosts, right?
It actually is a ghost.
Right.
What about you, Inda? Any idea of something that we would encounter in the tunnel? Okay.
And is in the middle of food.
Yeah.
That's where Biscuit lives, but we never knew that because Biscuit's just a random stray ass dog.
I was
Maybe-
gonna say,
go ahead.
it'd be really interesting to find like something like an abandoned gambling hall.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Opium stuff has started already, right? That's been a
What
thing.
has?
Opium dens and such. Unfortunately. Yeah, so maybe it's like an abandoned, and they try to like recover by making it gambling, and it's just like too much bad juju, and they're like, nope, gotta let it go. Yeah, I like that. So, yeah, I think Jessie Sweet was the one that was like, let's go check these tunnels out. Like, like let's see, maybe we'll be able to rescue someone or something. And really, they're just looking for a new act that might be like, it's very much if anybody remembers San Francisco having what's it called, like the Babylon. what was it called? Like San Francisco Babylon, and it was like this like variety show that usually was about like they wore like really wild like 3 feet tall like wigs and stuff with the buildings on it.
Really?
Yeah, and they would do like little plays and skits of like current events or stuff. So I think like Jessie wants to
Do something like daring like that.
yeah, like make a wild skit about these abandoned tunnels and the banana peel, or try to do something like that because they want to up their game a bit. Eula Mae, how are you feeling about this?
Eula Mae is
That's JP's character.
oh yeah. Eula Mae is JP. Minnie Mae is me. I'm the
I
other
was like,
one.
oh, this would be good. What am I doing?
I'm the
I'm
other
gonna let you
one.
roll with it.
I'm
Like,
one of these Mays. I don't remember which one, but I'm one.
I
of them.
know. I named these characters. I did that to
you
myself.
did. You did that to yourself.
Wasn't my problem.
I mean, I think Eula Mae just like, she's just like, oh, I just want to get out the house. So she's kind of like nonchalant about everything, but like, I feel like she's one of those people that the second she thinks it's like some ghost, some supernatural crap, she's like, I'm out. Come on, let's go. Like I'm not playing with ghosts.
Oh, we can't hear you.
I pressed the button and it didn't do the thing. Chris, how is Roy Brown dealing with the idea of going into these tunnels?
I think Roy's thing is like, since he's dealing with the garden and stuff, he's kind of looking for stuff to scavenge. He's like, I bet there's some tools or some boxes or something I can use to, fix up the garden, right?
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense. So, yeah, Jesse's like takes like a good 5-10 minutes, like just like ew at all the banana peels. Some of them are fresh, some of them aren't so fresh. It's like here. I knew it was here. Like struggles to open it up, and it's like hopefully we'll find something really neat. Yes, Eula Mae, if you need to run, we'll run, but really want to come up with something new. So I did promise a certain someone, and kind of looks at you, Minnie Mae, even though it's not your fault. It's Esther's fault. That we'd have a child-friendly show, and maybe something the tunnels could be, or with the bananas.
That sounds like something that Esther would like.
Right.
Yeah. Because that child has a lot of energy.
Too much energy. I don't know what they're feeding her.
Well, it can't be nothing but sugar because I think that child gets high on air. So.
Maybe. All right. Roy, you're the guy. You go down first.
He sort of shrugs. He's like, all right. And this is still the era where we've got like lanterns, right? And candles. We don't have flashlights yet. So yeah, I guess it's like a old school lantern. Very,
we're
very
within like
Scooby-Doo.
years of like the electric lights and everything.
Yeah. So it's like, old school Scooby-Doo lantern, right? Like,
I think as we're going down Rosemarie, I feel like Rosemarie has heard, or not, Minnie Mae has heard Rosemarie talking about like something she read in a book about like canaries and coal mines, and is like, her thing now is she's looking at whatever lantern Roy has and is like, if that fire goes out, it's bad.
or it's like, yeah, we won't be able to see anything. And the deal is, anytime Roy finds a door, the first thing he does is he kind of like knocks with some amount of noise before he opens it, and he's just like, yep, just want to make sure there's no rats. That wouldn't be fun.
No.
Wait, it's gonna be rats now? Oh.
I thought
Tunnels,
we were just
right?
worried about ghosts. I didn't even think about rats.
Oh.
Do you think there's rat ghosts?
Might be.
I don't think we should go that far with rat ghosts. I'm already.
We'll just go a little bit. We'll just go a little bit and see what we find.
I mean, ghosts are alive.
I've never heard of rat ghosts.
But rat ghosts is a totally different thing for me.
So if we don't see rat ghosts, does that mean that the rats have been doing funerals for the goat for the other rats?
Right.
Is that how you make a ghost?
Oh, Roy.
Roy, if that's how you make a ghost, you have to tell me.
No.
Are you making ghosts now, Roy?
No, I'm asking if the rats keep each other from becoming ghosts because they have funerals for each other.
Just shakes her head.
Minnie Mae is going through all of the people that she knows who have like passed away over like their trip across America, and is like, oh my God, I don't think they had a funeral. They're probably a ghost.
Like Eula in her head is thinking she sees her future is gonna be up all night trying to console Minnie that no, like grandma did get buried. She is not a ghost.
Yeah, but Uncle
Hold on.
John,
Wait.
Uncle John died in the military. We don't know if the military gave Uncle John a funeral.
Yes.
Uncle John might be a ghost.
Well, I guess technically, since we're in tunnels, things are already underground. Maybe that counts as buried.
That's true.
See, that's true. It counts as buried. It counts as buried. So there are no ghosts.
Maybe the banana peels are like a protective barrier since
Yes.
it's over this trapdoor.
Yes. Everything is buried. Everything is buried. Minnie.
Hey, I know you guys think that you made things better, but you actually made things worse because we are under here. We are
But
buried.
But we're not deceased though. We are alive and kicking.
How
Let's just-
do we know? Ghosts never know that they're dead.
How do you know? How many ghosts you talk to?
Yeah. Good point.
You know what? I don't know.
So let's
So-
find
So if
out.
we meet a ghost, we need to ask them if they're dead or not.
Yeah.
And then we don't know if they're lying to themselves or lying to us. So it's going to be real complicated.
But
Let's just enjoy the tunnels for what they are.
while we're walking, it's just Minnie whispering to Roy, well, how would we know that they're dead though? Because like are all ghosts like scary and like kind of see-through, or are some of them, because like people say that ghosts like knock on stuff and they move stuff,
I mean, people do that too.
right? So how will we know if it's a ghost or it's a regular person?
Inda?
I want to do a resolve token. They come across like a discarded photograph. It's kind of like double exposure or something like that. So
Ooh.
it looks real eerie or creepy and they come across it.
It's got like the wiped out faces.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that just goes into the ether since it scares everybody. It's like, oh, Roy, I think there's something on the ground. Put your lantern to it.
Oh, okay. What's down? Ooh. Oh. Huh.
What is it? What is it?
Oh no.
Nothing, Minnie Mae.
Nope. It's nothing. It's nothing at all. It's nothing at all. And I think I whispered to Jessie, if she is scared, she is going over your house because
You
I'm not going to be
brought
up
her
all night
with you.
No.
Roy,
She's
Roy.
going over there.
Roy, what did you find?
It's bad enough I have to
Just
deal.
it was an old photo.
An old photo of who?
You know, before they had good photos, right?
I want to see.
No, you don't.
No. It's nothing. It's nothing. You're not gonna see anything. It's a messed up photo. They probably
That-
discarded it because it was messed up. So you don't
Immediately
will
we'll take the photo and like put it in like in their sleeves and everything's like, it's fine, it's all good. Let's continue down. I think from what I heard from the Emperor, there's supposed to be like a big area underneath this particular tunnel.
Oh
You
yes,
know.
let's.
Oh, so we're not the first people down here.
No. But I
Oh.
think this one got abandoned because the Emperor declared that it would be too dangerous to go to the docks this way.
Okay.
Which, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, what if the tide comes in? Does this go into the sea? Do you hear any? And
when did they decide this was too dangerous? Like how long ago?
I think it was last week. I mean, that's why I've got in my head of thinking of like, a new ability, or not new ability. This isn't D&D. Of a new show,
All
Are
right,
you gonna
let's
have the show down? Wait, hold on. Time out. Wait a minute. You said this was supposed to be kid friendly and it's not safe to be here?
I'm getting ideas for a kid friendly thing. I mean, this is better than what
You wanna know
actually
what?
happens
I have no
at
reason
my
not to trust you. So let's
like. They look at you, Minnie Mae, and it's like you're gonna. Are you old enough to understand what it is that I do?
I'm 15 years old.
I think I whispered to Jessie, she doesn't.
I mean, that's why she hangs out with little kids, I guess.
They're only like, well, Rosemary's small, but like, well, actually, I'm not
Didn't
sure
I
how.
hear you and my brother have a conversation about plant babies?
Well, yeah, because
You should have been there. It was so funny.
well, nobody told us where babies came from. We didn't know.
Oh, thank
Oh, I
you.
thought you were going to ask about plants. I mean, you can always come help out the garden if you want to hear about plants.
Roy, actually, I do have a question. Are plants where babies come from?
Oh my goodness. This is why you're not allowed to come to my shows.
They come from a cabbage patch.
Are plants where babies come from?
Don't
Nobody wants to
answer.
tell me.
Right.
Nobody wants to tell me where babies come from. They keep telling me that I don't understand, but how do I understand if nobody tells me?
I mean, Jessie, your brother.
I'll tell you this clue. They don't come from plants.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, plants have other plants, so technically those are plant babies. That's what I thought you were asking.
I mean,
That's true. Plants. So people, why would people come from plants?
exactly.
That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, there's some stories. There's really old stories.
Roy.
Some people say people come from corn.
Let's
some
not
people...
confuse the poor child here.
Oh,
You'll
she's
come from
totally going to
corn?
your house.
I mean, some people
boy.
believe people came from clay.
Oh, like in the Bible.
Right.
Oh, okay. So it's like old magic store. Okay. Okay,
Alright,
I
she can
understand
come
that.
over. It's fine. I'll just stick her with Mark.
Exactly. You should tell Mark all about this and then tell Jessie.
I'm going to
Covered.
now because Roy is the only one who answers her questions with any seriousness. Minnie Mae is going to ask Roy everything he knows about babies.
And that's when Roy will be very evasive and keep trying to get back to things that he knows is safe to talk about, right? Like,
And I think I'm going to spend a resolve token as Jessie to the ether. Like as we're like continuing walking forward, we do come across like a little area that probably in actuality was like a staging waiting area before loading the unconscious people onto the ships and such. But like there is a couple of like beds there that maybe hinted at it possibly an opium den, but one of the beds like looks like there's like someone sleeping there, and we hear a growl and a rumble and it starts moving. And then all you see is it's technically a stick, but it's birched white wood, so it looks like a bone. And we all witnessed that and like, nope. And immediately, even though Jessie thought they had enough like courage, is immediately leaving before Esther. And it's actually a biscuit just sleeping underneath the blankets. How does everyone else react before we end the scene?
I think Eula Mae sees Jessie like start to like hightail out there. She grabs Minnie Mae. She's like, "Oh, that's it. We're leaving."
Minnie Mae, I think, just feels herself being pulled and just knows it's time to run. But she is a little curious, so she's also kind of trying to be like, "Well, what are we running from?"
I'm sure Jessie also snatched the lantern out of my hands too, just like
like
so I was like, I have to follow, otherwise I'm gonna get stuck in the dark, right? Like,
and maybe Roy's the only one that actually feels like it's like, oh, it's nothing, and then feels like the dog like happily licking your hand, but it's a darkness. You don't know,
right? Yeah.
Look, I don't know what that is, but we need to go.
Yeah. So that's the 3 kids plus another kid interacting, having their own shenanigans.
3 bigger kids and a smaller kid.
I just love how Eula Mae and Jessie are trying to pawn off each other's siblings.
Exactly.
No, you guys can hang out. It's fine.
It's like hot potato.
Mhm.
Yeah. They can go over your house. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Minnie Mae still doesn't really know where babies come from.
Will she ever learn?
She
Or
got
will
one
she
step-
or will
she
she
got one
become
step
like
closer.
Goku and just never know?
She's got one step closer. She knows they're not from plants.
I mean, to be
Scratches
fair,
out one biological kingdom.
I mean, to
Still
be
has
fair, Goku's
rocks
up
as a
dying
possibility? Question mark.
Yeah.
and going to training for like decades at a time. So
Exactly. All right. Now the actual kids. What kind of scene do we want to see next?
Mhm.
Ooh, what was one of the ones that? Hold on, I'm looking at the ones that we have.
Yeah, the list is below
Oh,
the phases
shopping
of play.
montage.
Okay.
yes,
Shopping montage. Let's see. I think for extra possible sadness, it's coming up to Maddie's birthday, and they're hoping to get a response from Esther by then, and it's like, all right, they're gonna have a themed train party, and his mother was like, the other kids can't afford like whole outfits and everything. It's like, well then we'll buy them. Come on. I'm gonna be 15. So I think it's it's poor Mama Diaz taking all these kids out to go shopping for like nice fancy clothing that would be whatever you think a train theme would be, like conductor or like one of the ladies. And obviously Maddie's just constantly like, well, Esther, you rode on a train. What kind of nice clothing did they wear? And like is basically pestering you as we're shopping. Well,
I think like it's getting very hard because Esther's trying to avoid Matty like the plague right now because when she got the letter, she was shocked. So, and she doesn't know what to say. So, like, what is happening is she is using Mark and Minnie Mae as like buffers. So
Mhm.
anytime Matty tries to talk to her, she just like, oh, did you call me Mark? And just over.
And yeah, I think when that happens, goes over to Rosemarie. I assume, Rosemarie, you're just sitting, like you're hiding and reading a book instead of trying clothing. Or are you actually trying clothing?
I'm actually looking for a specific accessory that I, read about in the book.
I am curious, what is that specific accessory?
Oh, no. She wants a fan.
Ah, nice. So yeah, brain. So yeah, he'll come over to you, Rosemary. He's like, "Did you get my letter? Also, that's a nice fan."
Yeah, but I don't know if it's exactly like the one. Wait, what letter?
I sent you a letter asking for advice.
Oh, really? Wait. Oh, that letter.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, let's see. I actually have the copy of the book with me, even though I'm kind of flipping through it, and so I'm trying to remember.
Was the letter used as a bookmark?
Yeah.
Like, I'll read that later when I get done with this book.
Yeah. So, there actually is a lot of stuff in here about. Wait, what exactly was the letter say again? Not exactly, but the gist of it.
Hold on.
How to
woo girls?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And she's kind of like looking at Matty, just, evaluating. Has to start with the clothes. You need a nice suit because all the men in here who woo women have really nice suits, really nice clothes, and you know.
Okay. I can do
So,
that. I like nice clothes. Minnie Mae knows how to make nice. Well, we'll find something here, and if it doesn't fit right, maybe I can ask Minnie Mae to help make it look nicer.
yeah. And also, how long would it take you to grow a mustache?
Hmm. I mean, Abuelito had a really thick mustache when I barely remember. I remember being tickled by it when I
Mm,
was a kid.
yeah, because gentlemen usually have mustaches too. That might be a really, really good way
Sometimes I've seen
to.
Jessie with a mustache, and then the next day they don't have it. Maybe I can ask Jessie.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Find out where to get the mustache. Try to grow a mustache really quick. You know?
Okay. Yeah, great. You're, I knew it was good to come to you.
Yeah. And also women, they really, really like when men say nice things to them.
Mm. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Papa's always saying nice things to Mama.
Yeah. And I don't have it like can't think of anything off the top of my head. She's got to tell him something that's gonna sound like solicitation.
Oh no.
Is it
That's
in French?
because yes, because that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce
Yeah.
soir?
Exactly. and
No.
it's definitely a phrase that has no like connection to Spanish words either, so it doesn't like oh, okay, yeah, that sounds yeah. Vulu, wolf, vulu.
And she probably mispronounced it because she read it, not,
Yeah.
Boulez Vooz.
Voulez-vous coucher avec
This is like that
Boy.
champagne word, right?
Yeah, that's French too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Champagne. They like the champagne
I
too.
don't think I can get close to champagne again.
Yeah,
But
but just a little bit because they just tend to sip it real slow, like in things
oh,
you
you're
like.
supposed to sip it. I
Yeah.
see that's what got me in trouble. I drank the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Not from the
yeah.
Agni region.
I think that's I think that can help you woo a girl.
Thank you. Oh, and he'll like happily like give you like a quick hug, like yeah. And then goes and like tries to find like the most expensive suit that is for
Yeah.
like kids and everything.
Yeah,
Uh,
she's got the family. I knew this book was gonna come in handy.
What's Mark doing during this shopping?
I think Mark has actually picked up that Esther has been like just like running over. He's been like, did you piss off someone? What's happening? Your sister isn't hovering here.
Wait, okay. And I kind of look around.
Because he's gonna look at you. He's like, I know you like shopping. Why are you? What's going on?
Okay, you have to just keep your voice down. Keep your voice down. Matty sent me a letter.
Did you make him angry? Was this that poking incident I heard about?
No, he said, okay, first he gave me tamales. I ate all the tamales before I even realized there was a letter there.
And then you gave him. You were trying to give him tetanus.
I was just trying to see how do you give people tetanus? I was trying to give it to myself too, but
He's not suing you, is he?
no.
Okay, because we can't afford to go to court with him for
No.
tetanus.
Well, apparently what I was doing wouldn't cause tetanus anyway. So, but no, he gave me tamales and I was like, oh, tamales. And I ate them and they was delicious. And then I saw there was a letter and I read the letter.
Okay.
And he said he likes me.
I mean, yeah, we all like each other. Otherwise, we wouldn't hang out, right? Are you giving me that look? What's that mean?
He likes me, like me, like me.
Oh, okay. So does that mean you owe him tamales too?
Oh no, I don't know how to make tamales.
Yeah, I see the problem. Is that why you're stressed?
No, I don't know.
Literal.
Like them like that. And if I have to make tamales to like, how do I? I don't
So
know
you
how
only
to.
like him, but he likes you.
Yeah, he like me.
Oh, this is where I would talk to Jessie, really. Jessie has a lot of people liking them. They're really good at somehow getting them to stop bothering. Not all the time, but enough.
Wait, so a lot of people like Jessie?
Yeah,
Oh,
but they don't all
oh.
like Jessie the same way. Like it depends on how Jessie's dressed and the show that just recently happened.
Um,
You know,
like,
there was a show when they had a whole bunch of bankers show up and there was dudes in suits everywhere. Everywhere.
I
They wouldn't
mean,
stop.
are there
We
any
had so many
people?
flowers.
Are there any people that like Jessie no matter how they're dressed?
I think a couple people do, but you know, are you trying to dress different too?
Um,
I mean, we
Maybe.
are picking out clothes.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think Jessie would like to see on people?
What Jessie wants to see on people. Jessie likes all kinds of costumes.
Well, I'm just saying because Jessie is really good at picking out clothes and like, you know, if
Yeah.
I were to pick out clothes that Jessie would like, and like what would Jessie approve of?
Something colorful?
Colorful. I can do colorful.
Yeah, you do colorful anyway, right?
Yeah, when mama lets me. So
Uh, yeah, that's the other part.
yeah, she says I am not an orange girl. So
Oranges taste good.
I mean, yeah, orange tastes good, but she said the color, she doesn't like the color on me.
I guess it's good that we don't have an orange peel street.
But she says that I should go yellow, but just not go all the way to orange.
So she likes the banana peel street. Okay. So yellow then. Your mom will like it. Jessie will like it. That sounds good.
Okay, let's find yellow.
Okay. So you want me to help you pick this out?
I mean, I mean, it's your sibling, and I just want to make sure that, I mean, Jessie is really good at fashion, and they would know, like,
And sure enough, Mark pulls out, he's got like a tape measure. Like he's like, I guess I am the only person who carries this around all the time. This will probably help.
Awesome. What about Minnie Mae and Rosemarie?
I think the thing that Minnie Mae is doing, because Minnie Mae also knows how to sew. Oh, excuse me. Minnie is like looking at the different clothes and like she's not even looking at them to like wear them. She's looking at them because she's looking at the stitching because she's like, oh, I could probably make this. Oh, that's just this. And then if you do this, oh, and you can add a pocket here. Wow, I never thought that you could add a pocket here. I wonder if you do. So like she's kind of like picking the stuff apart more than actually trying anything on.
Nice. I'm going to spend a facilitator resolve token. And I'll give it to both you, Rosemarie, if you guys want it. And Rain just went, and Minnie Mae.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for you to have a scene, like, while we're, like, I think we're in a different shop this time now, to have a scene together to interact.
Ooh. Then it's definitely like, if Rosemarie is kind of like sitting in her corner reading as usual, I think Minnie Mae feels like, oh, if anybody's going to at least pretend like they're going to listen to me, it'll be Rosemarie because she's just not going to interrupt.
Yeah, she's practicing how to use her fan.
Okay. You. By the way, Rosemarie, because of your excellent advice, you were able to buy 2 fans, or you're allowed to get 2 fans.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh.
I think Minnie is looking at the stitching at something and then looks over at Rosemarie and goes, you read a lot of books, right?
I'm still got the book in my hand, a fan of them. Mm-hmm.
Do you have the book in your hand, the one that you've been reading in French that isn't really?
Yeah.
I think Minnie looks at it and goes, "Well, what's that one about?"
I'm telling her it's about a woman in Paris and she just knows how to live.
What's it like living in Paris?
It sounds fun.
Well, what does she do?
Uh, I'm trying to think of a nice word for courtesan. She entertains.
Entertain like Jessie?
I think so.
Oh, does she wear a lot of fancy outfits and costumes?
She doesn't wear a lot of much anything.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I mean, well, when she does wear, I mean, the clothes do sound nice. I mean, not exactly like what we find kind of looking around the store. Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, what kind of clothes does she wear? She don't ever get cold. You can't just not wear clothes.
I don't think she gets cold.
Oh, never gets cold.
Oh, never gets
That's
cold.
exactly what I was thinking.
Wow. So, what does it say about Paris? What's Paris like? What are the people like? Do you is it in French? Do you speak French?
I'm learning it, you know.
Oh, can you teach me French?
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Okay, wait, you got to slow that down. That's too fast.
I'm also keep in mind I mispronounced it.
Voulez vous
Voulez-vous
vous. Well, that's
coucher?
just well. What does it mean?
I think I think you're just asking someone if they want to come over for supper.
Oh, that's polite.
Mm-hmm.
And so she just invites people over for supper.
Yes.
And then she must be the nicest person in Paris.
She sounds like it.
And she must have a lot of friends.
She has all kinds of friends.
Oh, that's so maybe.
I mean,
You
she
know
never
what?
wants for anything. She always has money from them.
I'm gonna have to ask Jessie if her job means that she gets to travel all over the world because I want to travel all over the world like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask my parents if I can go to Paris.
If you go, I want to go with you. Well, I mean, I know, but I don't know how much it costs to go to Paris. I probably couldn't afford it. But if you go, could you take pictures?
I will definitely take pictures,
Oh, I want to
and I can
see.
show you what they wear.
It's got to be a whole lot of nothing. Paris must be hot.
I think, yeah, it sounds like it.
Ooh, just so warm. Anyway, and I think Minnie's gonna like put her hands out. Are there pictures in the book?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I can read, but like sometimes the way they explain stuff doesn't make too much sense, and I'm pretty sure I couldn't understand it in French. So, but maybe where are you learning French at?
Well, I have my parents, they hired the tutor, remember? I do have a tutor, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
tutor left me with a dictionary that I can look up words in.
Can I borrow it sometime?
Yeah,
I won't take it all the way. I can just write some words down so that way I can learn how to say some words in French. So that way, when I hopefully go to Paris one day, I'll be able to talk to people and entertain people. Like, what's this lady's name?
I forget the character's name, but I tell you the character's name.
I'm gonna learn to entertain people like her.
Oh, oui.
Voulez-vous? Coochie a la mode.
And that's where we're gonna end that scene of the shopping montage.
I feel like the victim in these scenes is Jessie.
Yes,
They're gonna have to
they all
deal,
are out for Jessie.
they're gonna have to deal with all these kids coming up to them saying,
Jessie, what are these things mean? Jessie being like, oh my god, your children, please.
Exactly. Okay, I think we should have time for two more scenes. Having all the kids just hang out regularly, like maybe just having like a bit of a play date. And then of course, what was it? JP wanted Esther to have dinner with the Smith sisters, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's do the dinner first. Is it just a regular like one of those random nights where you come over, or is it like a something special, or?
Um, so like since they're neighbors, I think like my parents, like since they saw that Eula Mae was pretty much the sole guardian, um, they kind of take turns making dinner for everybody. So I think this night it's my parents making the dinner, so they're coming over to my place.
Nice. Do the Smiths bring over any food or any like gift this time around or anything? Do you think?
I think that they're in the habit of bringing over something because like they're definitely very grateful for the help. So like I feel like it's a thing where like Eula is like, okay, uh uh Esther's parents are making this, and so they want us to bring over like a bread or something. So like that's the thing that they focus on getting done to bring over. Just to make sure like one, it's a well-rounded meal, but also to be like, we very much appreciate your help because it's hard.
I think like my mother tells me to go over next door and to tell them like, oh yeah, we're getting ready. Um, uh, so I think I go over there and knock on their door.
Oh,
Minnie,
hey Esther.
everything is almost ready. Y'all need any help bringing stuff over?
I don't think so. We made a lot of bread. Mostly because your mom said that if we tried to make any more, she was gonna hit me in the hands with a ruler.
Yeah, she does that a lot. Um, she don't like too much when you're helping stuff, and she tells you not to help, and if you're doing it anyway, that ruler comes out. So yeah.
Mm, yeah, that's fair. I remember my mom being a little bit like that. Every time my uncle would come over, my uncle would always want to make something and bring it over, and then my mom would get very offended because she felt like he was saying that what she was making wasn't good enough. So,
Hmm.
and I don't want your mom to think that the food's not good enough because your mom makes real good food.
Yeah.
Uh, but also I just feel bad not bringing nothing over because you're always feeding us and stuff, and it's very nice of you.
I mean, y'all do the same thing for us. Remember, we take turns. So
Mhm. But it just makes things easier. I know it helps with Eula a lot because she's always tired because she's always working. She works a lot.
yeah, I see her come in late sometimes. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Anyway,
Well, yeah, let's get stuff and go over. Hey, did Eula make anything sweet?
she did make a pie a couple days ago. If you want a piece,
Yes, I do want a piece.
okay,
What kind of
okay.
pie? What kind of pie?
She made a sweet potato pie.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Where's Eula? Where's Eula right now?
Oh, well, she's getting washed up.
Okay, so do you want to have a piece now? Let's have a piece now.
Is your mama gonna get mad if we have a piece now?
Not if she don't know if we have it.
That's true. She can't get mad if she don't know. You are very correct in that. And I think Minnie will lead you to like the kitchen area. Well, she'll lead you because I believe we have like a communal kitchen thing. So I think what she does is she like leads you to this like um she like the pie is like kind of tucked away in an area in their like little apartment room or whatever. So like she like leads you over there, like pulls out a knife and like starts cutting it up and is like looking out toward at the door, like out towards the bathroom to see if anybody's coming. She goes, I don't think you'll mind if we have a piece though. In fact, we have a dilemma because we could get a piece big enough that the three of us could share. And then hopefully she don't get mad. And then we can all share the pie and then we can go over to your mama's. And then we just got to make sure that Eula knows that we're not going to tell your mama that we're going to have the pie, right? Or we could just have a piece for the two of us. But the problem with that is if Eula catches us eating the pie, she's gonna be mad because she's gonna think we're stealing, but we're not stealing because she did say I was allowed to have pie.
Okay, this has become very complicated.
It
I just
has. Okay, I'm just gonna cut a piece for the two of us. We'll be fine. And she just starts like cutting into it.
yeah, you don't need to make a big old piece, just make enough that they won't miss it.
Okay. So like she cuts like a sliver of a piece for each of us and like puts the pie away and is just kind of sitting there talking with Esther. Uh so guess what I learned from Rosemarie the other day?
What did you learn?
Apparently in Paris it's very hot because they don't wear clothes or they don't wear a lot of clothes. So I'm
Wow.
assuming but like it was real hot in Louisiana and we always had to wear clothes. The only people who didn't have to wear clothes was babies, but they were babies. Why would you make babies wear clothes? They're just gonna get them dirty.
Do they got swimming ponds in Paris? Because if it's that hot, I will go swimming every day.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask Rosemarie that. Ooh, maybe that's a thing that they do in Paris a lot. Maybe when Rosemarie and I go to Paris, we'll go to one of them Paris swimming ponds.
Oh, you're going to Paris? When you going to Paris?
I don't know. Rosemarie's parents are gonna send her to Paris, and then I'm thinking maybe if I make enough money, I could probably tag along. But first I gotta find out, I gotta talk to Jessie, because apparently in the book that she's reading, the lady that lives in Paris is an entertainer. She entertains a lot of people, she makes a lot of money. And
Really?
now that I think about it, I don't know if she was born in Paris and she just entertains in Paris, or if she was born somewhere else and went to Paris to entertain, but she seemed to be making a whole lot of money and she seemed to have a whole lot of friends. So I think,
What kind of entertainment? Does she dance? Does she sing? Act?
I don't know. She has dinners. That's what she definitely does. She definitely has dinners because Rosemarie told me how to say, "Would you like supper" in French.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, see, I want to be a singer dancer. So like I need to get this book too.
You could come to Paris with us.
Yes.
Maybe
That'll
that's
be
what.
good. And then apparently entertainers have to make dinner. So I really gonna have to learn how to cook as good as mama then.
I mean, your mom does cook real good. If you're gonna
Yeah.
have dinners, it'd be good to have. Oh, well, maybe that's okay. So this is what we'll do. I wonder. This is what we'll do. We're gonna have to talk to Jessie and Eula at some point because Jessie and Eula cooks really good. Jesse's an entertainer, you know.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
that
you
is true.
Eula
You
already
looking,
taught me how to sew, so
yeah,
maybe we could find a way for you to have a show in Paris, and then we could go to Paris.
exactly. Eula would teach me how to cook better. And then I could use that when I ask them to come over for supper. And
Mhm.
then like Jessica helped me with my routine. Cause apparently maybe like do you do the like your show before or after the dinner?
I I don't know. That's the thing we're gonna have to ask Jessie. Jessie would know. But I've never seen Jessie cook nothing. But Jessie's
That
mama cooks
is
really good.
true.
Maybe she just has her mama cook.
Well, well, I don't know. I never been to one of Jesse's shows, but it don't seem like Jesse does any cooking there either. I mean,
Well,
they do pass out drinks, so maybe Jesse just forego all the dinner part.
I don't think the cooking happens there. It seems like the dinner party is kind of like a different thing. Now, but whether or not it's before or after the show, I don't know. I guess it depends on the time. It depends on when you have supper, because if you have supper at 6, usually Jesse shows are kind of late. So maybe it's they go to dinner, they have dinner, and then they go to the show.
You know what? That is makes sense. You don't want to eat too late at night because then you get a tummy ache. That's what Mama
Mhm.
says.
This is true. This is very true.
So
And
maybe
this
they just
is-
have a snack.
And this is when you hear like Esther, your mother, like calling out the porch, like, "Girls, where are you? It's dinner time."
Oh, okay. Let's hurry up and go over there because I know that voice. That means we got 2 minutes to get over there. So
Yeah, I think it's definitely us like scarfing down pie real quick because we haven't eaten any. We've just
Just been
talking to
talking,
each
yeah.
other. So it's like us scarfing down pie real quick and then we're trying to run next door.
I don't even do that. I just take the piece of the pie and I smash it into my mouth, and my just cheeks filled with pie, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to chew.
As you're walking over, not even trying to finish it before you get over there.
Exactly. Excellent. I'm excited for if the Paris Grand Tour actually happens.
I
It'll be
know.
fascinating. So I think for the final scene before we do bosom enemies and such, is I think maybe excuse me. So there is schooling. People could still either do homeschooling or go to like an actual like schoolhouse and everything. It's still only about like 10, 15 years, if I remember correctly, that there's schoolhouses now in San Francisco and such. So maybe it's like in the middle, like basically recess, but it's like a 20-minute long type of recess, and we're all like just there, and it's exactly, Neko. And it's like a day before Maddie's birthday, and so Maddie's just all they've been talking about is their birthday and how everybody's gonna look nice, the new clothes, and keeps looking at Esther. It's like, I can't wait to see what you got me for my birthday, kind of thing. What are we all doing hanging out for recess?
I think,
Reading, of course.
I think Esther beelines it towards Rosemarie.
Rosemarie's never allowed to read in peace.
Just no.
This is why the book appeals to her so much. The idea of that this woman can live alone and choose when she deals with people or not. Like it's the scenes about like taking a bath, a candlelit bath, and reading. That she's like, oh, that sounds nice. Like,
And then people don't talk to you. This is great.
I think I come up and I was like, Rosemary, you read a lot of different books, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I once again I look all around to see who's around, and I see no one's around, and it's like, have you ever read any books about how to get someone to not like you?
I kind of look up. I look at Esther. Not like you?
Yeah, you want them to not like you, you want them to like you, but not like you, like you.
I don't know. I suppose you could refuse to ask them to supper.
Oh, see, that's when I messed up, because I think I asked, well, honestly, that's Mama's fault, because Mama's like, invite your friends over, and now probably that's why he thinks he likes me.
There's something, I'm not exactly sure what it means because I'm not sure if I translated it to English correctly. It said cold shoulder. So I don't know how you make your shoulder cold to make somebody not like you, because when what's her face, I forget her name, what's her face gives people the cold shoulder, they stop liking her.
Cold shoulder. I guess I could get something from the ice box and put it on my shoulder real quick and hold.
A cold pork shoulder.
I mean, is it literally a cold shoulder? How does that make someone not like you? I would just be like, oh, you need a blanket.
That's what I don't know, but for some reason it works for her.
Huh.
I just imagine
you're under the understanding that France is hot, so a cold shoulder maybe is very unusual.
I just like the idea of like you like just like, oh, cold shoulder, do this, not realizing it gives the opposite reaction.
Oh yeah.
Exposing your shoulder to the elements.
Well,
yeah.
So, like, what book does she say how to do the cold shoulder? Like, is she using ice? Is she freezing something and putting it on her shoulder? Or
I know. I'm not exactly sure why, but she'll stop talking to them.
Oh,
I don't know how that makes her shoulder cold though.
okay. So I had to stop talking to them?
Hmm. Yeah, but actually, sometimes that works the opposite way because then they just get more adamant about trying to talk to her when she won't talk to them. So I don't know if that'll make them not like you though.
Huh. Okay, so if I give them the cold shoulder, that's not guaranteed to work because and then if I don't talk to them, that's not guaranteed to work. This, I feel like this book is leaving out a lot of steps.
Yeah, I mean, she has a way with people, and it's really fascinating because I mean, she's popular, and she's only popular to who she wants to be popular with. Like,
Hmm.
she mostly only invites men to supper, though. I don't understand why.
Hmm. Well, she said, is this a book about the entertainer?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So maybe, hmm. You know what? There are some jokes that my daddy likes that my mama don't like. So maybe that's it. Maybe she's doing jokes that only men would like.
that's quite possible because I mean, so there are definitely like women who don't like her
Hmm. Okay.
because men like her so much.
Oh, okay. Then she definitely doing jokes that probably, you know, I guess proper ladies would not like. So,
Mhm.
you know what? This lady is sounding more and more interesting.
She is. This is why I have to go to Paris. I have to meet women like her.
I wonder how much it is to go to Paris.
Yeah, well, hopefully, once I'm out of school, my parents will let me go and, they'll send me and I can find out.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to try the cold shoulder and not talking and see how that works out.
Yeah. Right. You know, if if it really works though, I mean, you might get money out of it.
I get money out of it,
I don't know. People pay her for a lot of things.
so I can get paid for a cold shoulder?
I think you could. Yeah, I mean, I guess showing the cold shoulder that because people don't usually do that.
Huh. Well, I guess since you're using all types of things to keep your shoulder cold, the the most gracious thing you could do is at least pay for all the freaking stuff. Like, you using up all my ice to keep my shoulder cold.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. Well,
Yeah.
I'll try a couple things and see how it works out. Thank you, Rosemary. I'll come back to tell you if it works or not.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe someday, voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
What does that mean? Is that this?
Maybe you can come over for supper sometime.
Oh, okay, that's fancy.
It sounds like it. Of
And
course, in
we'll
her mispronunciation.
we'll switch over to Mark. What are you doing during this recess? You're muted.
I have two different mute buttons. Okay, there we go. Um, I think I'm actually gonna try and see what's up with Matty, right?
Okay.
Like, I want to see what's the other side of the story, but I'm not going to directly ask, right? Like I think I'll like come up like I'll be like, hey, you seem very very excited. Like I'm excited for your birthday. I think it's gonna be great, but like what's going on?
Well, everybody's supposed to give gifts. And, usually gifts are. I mean, I like gifts, but usually other kids don't usually have interesting gifts. But I really think, that that Esther might have a really good gift for me. I figured she was just waiting until my birthday since I asked pretty close to my birthday. That would be very cool.
What do you think it is?
Well, I
Because you
guess
have like a lot of stuff, so it's hard to find stuff for you, you know?
Yeah, no, I understand that, but I like train stuff. I don't have a lot of train stuff yet. There's not a lot of train stuff out there. I mean, we only just got the station, like, just before Esther showed up, you know? Um,
So you think she's got something from a train for you? I mean, it makes sense. She did come over on a train. She might know
exactly.
someone there.
Yeah,
Okay.
but, and they kind of, like, look around, and, lean in. I confessed to her.
Did you do something wrong?
No,
Is that why she was trying to give you tetanus?
no.
She
She tried to
usually
give me
pinches me or punches me once if I do something stupid. She doesn't try to give me tetanus.
No, she tried to do that before I gave her the. I confess. No, I sent her a letter and a plate of Mama's tamales, and I bought. And I made sure they were the best batch of Mama's tamales and everything. No, I told her
You
I
must have
liked
done
her.
something real bad. What'd you do?
I told her I liked her. Don't you?
Oh, so you liked her and you had to confess that you liked her?
Yeah, because it's the romantical thing to do.
Wait, is liking people bad? Do you have to apologize for that?
You need to read more books instead of just printing them, Mark.
Oh, wow, I
It's
got a
not.
lot of people to apologize to.
I guess. I
Yeah,
mean,
it makes sense to me. I was like, I always wonder why, like, you
your
know how some
sibling
people's
always gets a
parents
lot
are
of
real
confessions.
stone-faced, but that makes sense because if you have to apologize, I don't want to have to apologize, but it seems like a lot of work to pretend you don't like people.
Mm, kind of, but anyways, I want her to respond to see if she likes me back, and that maybe we could
Oh, so you're in trouble together. I see. Who would punish you for this, though? That's the part I don't get.
Cupid.
Is that like one of the older kids down the street?
This is why I asked Rosemarie for advice and I didn't come to you about it.
I'm just trying to understand. So there's a person who punishes people for liking people.
Well, only if they don't like each other back. But then they make it
Oh.
Cupid they throw an arrow at you, I think. Isn't it? They throw the arrow and then you have to confess.
Are they with the triads? That's like what triads do. They throw knives at people.
No? So that would make sense. Are triads like followers of Cupid?
I don't know who Cupid is. You tell me he's not down the block, so I don't know where he is.
He
Okay?
lives in the sky. Because he's naked most of the time, so I guess he has to live there so nobody can see it.
Okay, now this is starting to sound really weird.
Well, you're really weird for not knowing who Cupid is and confessing. You're the older one. Oh, actually, no, wait. I don't remember. Are you the older one? No, you're the younger one. You're about to become an adult soon. You need to learn the things about, like, cupids and arrows and confessions and the birds and the bees.
I
I
like
mean,
the
I
idea
understand
of
birds
Matty
and bees. I
thinking
asked
that
Roy
Mark
because
is the older one.
Right?
I mean, I asked Roy about birds and bees. He's already got the garden, but like someone's throwing arrows and knives at you. That's not cool. We're gonna have to get the older kids to help out. I'm not trying. I don't want you to get cut.
I won't be. Everything's gonna go great tomorrow, and it'll be fantastic. It'll be the best birthday ever. And then, Esther and I will be great together. Maybe we can do stuff on a train together.
Is it your birthday when he comes after you? I mean, it's like you got money. People don't just come after you. That's some really scary people.
And I think they
And
look
he's
at
naked. And he's naked.
They look at Mark, puts a hand on your shoulder, and goes, "You have some issues." I'm gonna
We
go
got
get you a.
magazines back at the
I have
shop,
an extra tamale. I think maybe. Let me get you a comfort tamale, and we'll go like little paper on paper bag equivalent. And so- you kill me, Chris. I swear to God.
Let me play one hyper-focused character, and
Actually,
you will
Mark.
get miles of entertainment.
Mark is my favorite relationship expert. My
Why do we keep asking Mark?
favorites
Why?
relationship expert. Mark is the one we should be listening to.
And I think with that, everybody has their love dating advice and plans for the future. With
They keep asking the 13-year-old for advice.
exactly, you guys look like the smart ones, and it fades to Matty like looking forward to this disastrous birthday.
Oh my God.
So
Oh, poor baby. Oh, poor
let's
baby.
do.
Oh, don't make me hurt his feelings. Oh, I don't want to. Don't make me hurt the baby.
Yes,
What you're about to do.
This is what our table's always about, hurting them kids. I'm just double checking something real quick. Yes. So, final bosom enemies. Do you think in this last Navajo chapter, did you confront your bosom enemy? If so, was it positive or negative? If not, we need to have a scene about it. I'm going to say no, I did not. I was very serious and very direct. I was not frivolous at all, unless you consider him spending money on everybody. So I probably will need to do a quick scene or vignette.
Yeah, I don't think Mark addressed his perfectionism. He's just completely confused.
Yeah. So we'll need a scene then. So that's 2 scenes we'll need to do. Let's go continue from right to left. JP.
I think the scene with the dinner, she was impulsive because the minute she heard pie, everything was out the window. Like, let's eat some pie now. But I think in her talk with Rosemarie, she was really trying to think of a good way to, like, she doesn't want to hurt Matty's feelings. So she was like really serious about, like, she didn't just blurt out like, no. She really wanted to like figure out a way to like get Matty to like stop liking her so she won't hurt his feelings.
Okay. So it could be that you get one positive, one negative, or if you really think like the pie thing was just like it was just a kid reactionary, then maybe just a positive for the fact that you did confront it, like you didn't want to just immediately tell Matty no. So I'll leave that up to you, but I can see it go either way for that.
Yeah, I feel like it was a positive and a negative. So
okay.
You win some.
Yeah.
So do I put those on the same line, or
yes, you put them on the same line, and then you might write a little summary about how you did or didn't confront it, or how you confronted it negatively and positively.
Okay.
D.
I think I did confront my bosom enemy, and I confronted it both negatively and positively because I decided to try seeking out more information on things I didn't know. By asking Roy about how babies are made and asking Rosemarie about Paris. But the negative part is I feel like there was some, like, the positive part was like finally just being like, Roy, tell me where babies come from because nobody wants to tell me, and I'm trying to not be like I'm trying to know about this thing. And then the negative is, oh, it's hot in Paris, that's why this lady doesn't wear clothes. So I think it's a little bit of both.
Makes sense. Yeah. All right, and then Inda.
Excuse me. I think, yes, she was oblivious, but she was oblivious in a way that she's usually not. She doesn't realize she's oblivious because she's comes out of reading her book to actually talk to people and share what she's learned from the book, but she doesn't know, of course, that she's gotten this all wrong. She thinks she's giving good advice, so she's interactive. So, excuse me, in that way, I think maybe that was positive on her end.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Like she was trying not to be, and obviously the fact that you don't understand French isn't your fault, and the fact that like you were desperately trying to figure it out and everything. It's just that as a kid you were interpreting it differently.
Yeah.
So I would say that's a positive.
Charitable.
Yeah. So we're not gonna make this a scene, and I'm just gonna do a vignette so you don't actually have to play it out, JP. However, being confronted at the birthday party, how would Esther have or would Esther have tried to tell him before the party got into full swing?
I I think she would try to avoid Matty at all costs until after his birthday, because like who wants to hear bad news like right before or during your birthday? So I think she would just try to avoid him unless like if he ends up cornering her,
Well,
then
what
she
he's going to do is he's going to pull her onto the front, like the stage or
oh
whatever. So
no, no,
and be
oh
like, "So, Esther, what birthday gift do you have for me?" You know.
I think what she's gonna do is like um I think he does like I guess he does do the train set. So she probably just carved a little house thing and she probably give it to him and then immediately runs off the stage
Okay.
without saying anything. She's like, here, and then bolts.
Yeah. And then later on she'll officially say like, "I don't like
Yeah.
you." Okay, fair enough. In person, or would you do it in a letter? Either way is fine. It's just
Um, I think she'll do it personally
okay.
because I feel like Matty will just insist on just like he seems very one track mind right now. So I don't think I can get away with avoiding him. So I
On
probably will
track
end
for
up doing
railroad.
right.
Okay, yeah. So I think like um for let's see. I always try not to get too many negatives because but you know what? Let's try. This is I played this game so many times. Let's do a negative. So yeah, I think like when you ran away to the birthday party, it's like, oh, like like whatever. She must be shy. But that's weird. She really wants to be on stage. She got to get over that shyness. And then obviously cherish what like you carved and everything. As like one of the many gifts that they did like, and then I think when you finally said no, Maddie just kind of stared at you. It's like, okay, bye. Turns around and
Ooh.
gives you the cold shoulder.
Ooh. Ooh.
And so acting negative to his frivolousness is like, I see. And you do not see Maddie in some of the like the next like a couple of weeks. Like at all. Like Maddie does not come out to like play with any of the kids.
Oh.
But then
So
afterwards, he's kind of himself again and is like,
during those couple weeks, does Maddie respond to anyone like showing up at his place, or is it mostly his parents are like, oh, he's busy now?
um, I think for like the first week and a half, it's definitely like, oh, he's helping at the shop, and then if you try to go to the shop, Maddie's like, I'm busy. I'm an adult now, like.
Yeah, because I think what would have happened is if he went basically MIA,
Mm-hmm.
Mark would have went to Dr. Marsh and asked about any ways to fix arrow wounds and how to treat them.
Oh,
He's assumed he got shanked.
no.
And there'll probably be about a week or two where Mark obsessively learns how to treat arrow wounds, and Dr. Marsh is probably concerned, like it went from, oh, weird Mark fixation to, why are you asking this?
She
Like, are you
definitely
about to
laughed at
choke?
first. Yeah, she definitely laughed at first, but then it's like, oh wait, what the hell?
Like, what are you practicing for?
Love it. Yeah. But yeah, so that's what happened with Maddie. Chris, how is Mark what is something you were thinking of for confronting his perfectionism?
He's trying to learn how to cure arrow wounds.
Okay, so you just get
He gets hyper
obsessed.
fixated
Yeah.
unless someone like does someone else want to like catch Mark is probably going to practice like, hey, I'm not going to cut you, but I need to like practice if I was going to fix you if you got hit with an arrow.
Most likely it's probably Esther that will allow you to practice.
I feel like this is a situation where Minnie is near, like it's something that happens like at Esther's house, and Minnie is nearby and is like, well, I mean, you probably, well, when somebody gets stabbed, you kind of have to sew them up like sewing.
Oh,
But
that's
also
good.
getting stabbed hurts, so maybe don't stab Esther.
Wait.
No stabbing.
No,
If Maddie's okay. He's got
Rosemary.
his parents got money. They probably have good people to take care of. But I don't know how long do arrows last in people?
Rosemary's like, no. I mean, according to, this, somebody who, gets wounded that way, the solution is to drink a lot of alcohol.
Oh, his family, well, didn't he get in trouble? We got in trouble last time when he drank that
Well,
alcohol.
Maybe it was the
it
wrong
wasn't
kind
him.
because they mentioned wine a lot, but they also mentioned whatever type of whiskey.
No. It's definitely whiskey because when my uncle got shot by my aunt, we when my mom was taking the
Was your
bullet
aunt
out.
working for Cupid?
No,
Okay, good. Because that
she
guy
wasn't
sounds
really
scary.
working. She wasn't really working for anybody. He was supposed to be working, but he wasn't working. He was hanging out with this lady that he was not supposed to be hanging out with. And Auntie got real mad. Anyway, she shot him. And then what ended up having to happen was Daddy had to dig the bullet out. And then Mama sewed him up shut. She basically took a needle and she put it in she burned the end of the needle, and then she took this thread and then she closed it up real good, and then he had to drink whiskey because he was screaming because it hurt so bad, but the whiskey made it not hurt as much. And then he kept having to put another clear alcohol on it. And whether it was rubbing alcohol or one of the ones you can drink, I don't know, but he had to do it because my mama said if he didn't do it, he was going to get gangrene.
Yeah.
And the good part about that is Auntie very much enjoyed help him dressing that wound and putting the alcohol on it. So I think it helped their relationship.
Well, you know what? It might not have been Cupid, but it might be the devil, because I heard my mama telling my daddy, like, the reason why down the street, Miss Seeley stabbed her husband because he was doing the devilish thing. So maybe he was working for the devil.
I knew it. Maddie said Cupid wasn't down the street, but I said there's always trouble down the street. That's the place where people get shot with arrows. It makes sense to me.
There is always trouble down the street.
And he said Cupid was also not wearing clothes. Do you think he's French too?
I mean, if he really got hot and he didn't have a cold shoulder, then he definitely, it'll be weird to have all those clothes and you're still hot.
That would explain why he don't wear a lot of clothes.
I don't understand why this guy can go around just shooting people with arrows and no one does anything. The triads would do something. The police would do something.
Maybe he real sneaky.
Oh.
They don't realize they got shot until after, they got hit, and then he gone.
Now, I feel like people mostly don't realize they've been shot until after they got shot, but that's just me.
Well, I mean, if they don't see him coming.
Oh, okay. I see.
He just real sneaky.
That's scary.
If you do any of this practice of arrow stuff in front of your sibling, Jessie's going to shut it down. Jesse's really
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure this hangout part, I got totally distracted by this conversation.
Yeah.
And the perfectionism got derailed. Like, it's like, I'm more curious about this, like, this French assassin who was running through town.
I feel like one of the things.
We're over Esther's house. So right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like one of the things that happened is that Minnie got a needle and thread and like some fabric and was like showing how to sew things up on fabric. So basically like teaching you how to do a seam. It's not necessarily the best suturing advice, but it's better than nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like Esther's parents are in the other room just cracking up and they're just not there's like, just let them have this.
These are weird kids.
Awesome. So, do you think you react positively or
I
negatively?
think it was positive because instead of shutting people out, I engaged with people. And
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you did get distracted and you're not detailed, and then you find Matty later totally fine. No scars. Gets confused, and while you're asking about scars, is like,
Did they make him drink whiskey? Did he get in trouble for drinking whiskey? Because that doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
It's not your fault you got shot. What are you talking about?
Okay. So I think we mentioned it in the beginning of collaboration, but let's confirm. It is now time for passage of time. How much did we want to jump?
Oh, I want to say we did like 10 years, maybe?
Yeah. So are we still up for jumping 10 years?
Oh, I'm down for that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm the type of person that likes to keep some of the ephemera and stuff. So generally, like, just your age, you just add a little arrow and be like, we're now this age, like 24 or whatever. That's the only thing I would say to do right now. Everything else that's related mechanically, we do after the passage of time, like deciding what character role we have, whether or not some of our connections are still around or if you've technically outgrown them. So that's usually done in the transitioned out adulthood. But passage of time, and this information is also in the rules and plays reference tab. Each player gets to detail one scene and one vignette that takes place during that time from the following: a weather interlude, which is row 37 in the rules and play reference. A scene or vignette about your bosom enemy, then you mark down results. A scene or vignette about the way your bosom enemy has changed you. A scene or vignette about your castle in the air. Or you pay a resolve token to have a scene or vignette about something else that's not in this list. Additionally, you can also write up to 3 epistolary letters during this passage of time. Obviously, they are not the only letters you sent in the 10 years, but they would be the ones that were significant enough to either yourself or to the other players. And you can go out of order. You can have like your vignette happen a year from now, or 5 years from now, and then have your scene be from 2 years. So we don't have to go in order. You can jump back and forth. I'll keep in my notes like what everybody's done. You can do if you want to do all your letters first, you can do that. You don't have to. As a reminder, the letters don't have to be just with connections or players. It could be maybe an NPC or I like to do unsent letters, and such. So
how many letters do we have to do?
up to 3. Yeah, but you don't have to do, if you don't have 3 in you, that's totally okay. As Neko will, yeah, I did like that, Neko, that when we did that in the last game, so I might do that right now, actually. So docs.
So we could do up to 3 letters. We could decide to do a vignette.
Well, you have to do you have to do 1 vignette and then 1 scene, and the scene has to be with another character. It could be. It doesn't have to be with the main characters or the connection, but it has to be like a scene with another player, essentially. But the vignette is the one that you just talk about. Let me set up, and then I'll link this into the CETA document that we have.
And the vignette takes place some point during this 10-year period.
Exactly.
I think Mark got sent to like the equivalent of a manners or finishing school for a couple years. Like, because it's like, we need you to learn how to interact with people, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So I think it'd be pretty fun to do a vignette where I come back.
Okay. Did you want to do that first, or did you want to like have some other scenes first before, so you have an idea of how that feels?
I can do either, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me.
Because I'm assuming that's probably closer towards that probably happens somewhere around 18 or 19, right?
Yeah, it's up to you. When you want, how long you want to have them. Like, I think if the girls go to Paris, they do it within the next year or 2. Neko could confirm. I think the tours are usually like what 6 months ish, and obviously and it'll be a lot harder since we're on the West Coast to get to Paris. So timeline stuff. So
Timeline.
who wants to be our record keeper?
I can do it.
Okay,
Where are you putting the timeline? Okay.
Yeah, I'll link Share to for sharing. See the timeline. I put it in our G chat, and then I'll link it to the CETA primer also.
Got it.
Okay, so yeah, so some of them. So if you guys, and this is also where we can also just chat silly about like what we want to collaborate. Like, for example, if Esther had said yes, it's like, okay, how long did we date? Did we date for like 3 months, like kids, and then that was it, or did we
Then
date through
completely
the
forgot.
whole thing? For example, in the first playtest that I did, my character and Sayer's character technically, like, it was hinted that they liked each other, but they actually didn't get together until the passage of time, and they were mostly together until my character and Neko's character went to their Paris, or actually tour of Europe. It was Italy and such, tour that kids did when you came of age. And it kind of broke down in communication. Were we still together? Were we not? And then when we came out of passage of time, oh no, we both had our own fiancés and we no longer called each other by our first names and such, So it was beautiful, beautiful drama, but then they did end up together at the end. So stuff like that. So if you want to determine, did anybody get together? Like, did you guys go to Paris? So the three of you, or just two of you? How long were you there? If you want to talk about that kind of stuff. Ba, 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 ba. I thought. Oh, is it not editable?
Not for me, no.
Okay, let me. This is what happens when I do it quickly. Ba, 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 ba.
All right. So we've had Mark going to a finishing school because he doesn't know how to talk to people because he is real awkward. And you said that was like 18-ish?
Yeah. Probably 17, 18, somewhere around there, right?
Okay.
Why?
So that's gonna be like about 4 years in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like there was a couple more years of me working at the shop and my parents realizing he's not getting it. Like,
Okay, if you refresh, you should be able to edit now.
Yep.
Awesome.
I am going to say that Rosemarie, she does get to go to Paris, but her parents made her wait until she was like 20. And she
Ooh.
spends like 2 years there. So about years 8 and 9, she was in
Okay.
Paris. Yeah, they found out, about her trying to read this book and what she was getting from it. So they polished her a bit more first and make sure she understood, the French and stuff and, what was actually happening with this book. Like, okay, if you go to Paris, you cannot be this woman, but
Yeah.
you can
So
still go.
yeah. So did everybody else wait until Rosemary was allowed to go, or did either of you go before then?
I don't think I went. So, I think like maybe in the next year or two, like there's a troupe that comes in.
Ooh.
And I think like one of the entertainers there was around her age. So like I'll say like they come every year. So I think like in the first year she becomes friendly with this other young lady who was in the troupe. Because her family are all entertainers. So and I think the second year when they come back, she's really thinking about maybe like going with the troop.
And this is
Or
when?
he's like, asking the girl, how do I get started and stuff like that.
1 or 2 years in, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious. Do you ever confess to Jessie?
So, okay. So I think how old am I?
Also, for some odd
Um,
reason, JP, your mic sounds a little lower than it did like a few minutes ago.
Hello.
Oh,
There we
perfect.
go.
Yeah.
Okay, for some reason it turned us up there.
Mine does that
don't
too,
know.
so I don't know why.
I was like, I don't know why. Okay, she's 14. So at 15, the troop came, and then 16, she's trying to.
Hmm?
Oh no. He froze. JP, come back to us. Don't go to the troop now.
We've lost her.
Completely froze. Well, we wait for her thing to reset. I was gonna say, Mark comes back 2 years later, and I think what ends up happening is instead of helping with the family shop, he ends up having to help Jessie with the shows.
Ooh.
Like I think it's a thing. He's come back. He gets how to interact with people, and it's working well enough that's like, actually go be the greeter for the shows. He gets roped in on it, and he's doing a very good job of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's not doing the thing he wants to do, but he's still around, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, if you're not like, if it helps for anybody else, if you're unsure where you want the direction of your character to go a bit, you can look in the Cedar Primer, in the second page, the adult roles. You can definitely look at them now. Technically, we do that after passage of time. If it helps you to like lean, like, are you gonna become a dandy? Are you gonna become a cosmopolitan? The seeker, the striver.
Oh, the
Kind
new
of
ones?
thing.
Yeah, Rosemary definitely becomes the cosmopolitan.
So, just that way, if it helps, because sometimes I can do it without. Sometimes I have to have an idea of where I'm going to be taking this character.
Oh, I want to look and see where I'm going to take this character because
Why?
I have an idea.
Mhm.
JP dropped out, so
Okay.
we're
Oh,
a
no,
puzzle
we're a puzzle. Sorry about that, everybody.
because her internet said, "Hey, guess what? Your character is stuck
Suave
in
Mark.
this. Your
Hold on.
character is stuck as this forever."
Why does it do that? Hold on.
No computers. So the adult things are under which section, or is it in the PDF of the rules?
Yeah, the Meow game, we are having an issue at the moment, so we apologize for the Picasso. It's on the second page of the primer, is the link. Well, let me try to fix this.
We gotta have a preset drop. Somebody got dropped.
Yeah. Let's see if I do this. Is it going to do it automatically here? Okay, no, it doesn't. Cool.
Oh, I see adult roles for Castle in the Air.
Yeah. Oh no, that does do it automatically.
Ooh, now we're all just blank screens.
Yeah.
Voice only, like Evangelion.
Voice only, yes. Neko says she can't wait for Suave Mark. That could become a thing.
Mark is definitely gonna be the most suave out of all of us because because he had to learn it at an age where it was like more. It's not like a thing that he picked up naturally from other people, so it's very calculated. So he like knows what he needs to do in certain situations.
Perfectionism plus school. Guess what
Yeah.
happens? Yeah. Hey, JP.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Well
And
done.
I decided, no, that's fine.
We're just black talking voids right now, as I put everybody else back. That way we're not freaking people up with our puzzles.
Audio only.
Um, let me move this.
Where are we at now? Because
Oh, we're just discussing a couple more things, but yeah, we haven't officially done any scenes yet. We're just figuring out where people are
okay.
while I move windows around.
I think you were in the middle of telling us what Esther and this troop.
Okay. I think when I get 18, so that's 4 years, I think. Yeah. I decide to so my brother comes into town and he's no longer laying tracks for the railroad. He's actually working for the railroad as like I don't think as a conductor. Well, I guess as a conductor taking tickets and stuff. And so like I feel like that is a good way for me to kind of travel. Because I've been doing a troop like every year when they come in. But I know that they're gonna be in another city. So I'm gonna go with my brother to that city and then kind of start traveling with the troop. So I think before I leave, because I feel like I'm leaving for good, that is when I confess to Jessie.
Okay. Did you want this to be your scene? It doesn't have to be, but it can be.
Yeah, I think I can make it. I think it'll be a good thing. So,
Okay.
um,
So
and I
because
think
I'm doing a lot of things, how old are you at this point?
18.
18. Okay. That's 4 years, and Jessie will be 23. Okay. So all of it, I think by this point you are allowed to see the shows. So you've seen the shows, you know. Like I think it's like like as soon as you turn 17-ish was when like, all right, we have enough tame shows in the rotation kind of thing. Would you do this like after one of Jesse's shows? Would you do this at like one of the like, or have
Um,
asked Jesse out for like, I want to treat you to a dinner, you did so well, kind of thing?
I think like what happens is, I think because like I think I make dinner for Jessie, to celebrate. Um, and then like so like, uh, I think like because my mother has finally she popped out the baby a long time ago. So I have a little sister. So like my little sister is probably like with a relative that came into town and is giving my parents a night out. Um, and so I take that time to like, yeah, you should come over and I'll make dinner for you to celebrate so you don't have to do anything and blah blah blah, you know. Um, just to kind of celebrate, and that's what I'm gonna set up to confess.
Okay, yeah, and I think the last few years, have you been very consistent with like how much you've liked Jesse, like in your
Uh,
attitude towards Jesse, or is it more, or did it seem more like I want to be on the stage, and you're the person
I
I know how to be on stage with? So
uh I feel like because like I get that out from the troupe that comes in
mm.
every year, so I get to be on stage then. Um, and I think like before I had like a crush on Jesse, and I think as I get older and like able to talk to them more, like that has gotten heightened. And I'm just gonna say puberty has been very good to her. Uh, And so like she has this kind of confidence that she didn't have before.
Hmm.
And So like she's giving like she like first it was just like, little hints like so I feel like I don't know if Jessie knows that she has a crush um on them, but I feel like as every year goes by, Esther is making it more and more obvious.
Hmm. Makes
Like,
sense.
yeah, like straight, like openly flirting with Jessie.
Yeah. Um. ba, 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 ba. Okay, so I think Jesse might have an idea, but they're kind of hopeful, like maybe you've moved on, and they have like definitely like appreciate that you've grown up to be a very like capable young woman and all that, and so I don't think I think they dress nicely because like like this is nice, you're a good friend of my brother and all that, and yeah, so they're not immediately like surprised when like everything looks a little romantical and everything. And it's very much like I appreciate this. I mean, it's always nice to get a home cooked meal.
Yes, of course. I wouldn't cook for anybody else but you, of course.
Uh, they chuckle. Um, you know, there's been talks about expanding.
Oh, really? That's exciting.
Yeah, we're thinking of maybe taking one of the other buildings in the area and making a whole grand show where we're on, well, not on all the time. Obviously, we would have our own shifts and everything, but actually play into the day crowd. You know, I never stopped thinking about like what you said to me when you were a kid about kids should be able to watch some of these shows, not these specific as but.
Yeah, and like you could see her chuckling in her head, thinking about the fact when she was trying to sneak in. I just remember how many times I tried to sneak into the show.
So
Um,
many.
I mean, there was one time I almost had it, but I got caught. But yeah, that would be cool because you know, kids also love the arts as well. I'm sure you'd do great. Like you're very talented, Jessie.
Thank you. I've been enjoying these years, and I'm really glad that our our parents allowed it. That instead of
Yeah.
doing the printing business and everything, but you've also been doing really well too. Don't think I haven't noticed.
And like you see, like Esther kind of blushes. She's like, "Yeah, I'm surprised. Daddy and Mama even let me do the troop, but they said when they come into town, then I can do it. But um, I just can't travel with them yet. But I think this is the year that I'm maybe start traveling with them."
Oh, are you? That could be good. You get a lot of new exposure to things, get different sorts of audiences. That's exciting. I had thought about that a few times, but you know, I'm established.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever thought about at least taking part of the show on the road?
No. Again, I've mostly thought about the spaces here and constructing the spaces here, and I've some of as you know some of our fellow players they've had invites and they've gone off on their own and I kind of shrug like they're not regretful about it. It's just like yeah, it's just never been my thing.
Yeah, true. Oh yeah, okay, so let me get everything set out. I did find one of the people from the troop told me about this, but like this like really good you said you like wine, right? So I found this one of the troop people recommended. So let me know what you think.
Of course.
Um
You know, you didn't have to
So,
go all the extra trouble. And they're like swirling the glass like they've seen, like, you know, people do and everything.
I mean, I wouldn't go to this through this trouble for just anybody. Um, Actually, I probably would only do this type of thing for you.
And they don't quite get it yet because they're just relaxing. It's like, yeah, this is nice. And they take a sip of the wine and everything. It's like, just for me, not even for my brother. Like, just like teasingly, you know.
I don't think the way I feel about Mark compares to the way I feel about you.
Wait. Oh,
Yeah.
they kind of down the glass a little more. This, this is some good stuff.
Yeah, it is. Look, I didn't want to have anything that I regretted. Um, at least if I decide to leave and pursue my dreams. And the one thing that I would regret is not telling you how I feel before I decide to go traveling.
And they have a moment where they're thinking and looking down. And would my answer change your decision to go or not?
I don't think you would want that. And I wouldn't want that either. And that's that's probably why I like you, because you understand me. And I feel like I understand you.
And they do sigh in relief at hearing that. Like, okay, good. Like, you know. Well, I do appreciate it, Esther. I'd worried, you know, some when their children can be fickle about who they like. I'm too embarrassed to tell you who I liked when I was 14. I would definitely not like that person anymore. So the fact that you've seen the ins and outs of my life, you obviously know my family, that you still have these feelings.
Yeah, unfortunately for you, they grew from when I was a child. And then you could just see like Esther pick up a glass, take a sip, and she's like, so please know with all seriousness that I will pursue you with every strength of my being. If you even give me the hint that you even like me back.
They flush. They'll say it's the wine, but they do flush. Um, well, let's enjoy dinner first. And let's see what kind of experience you get on the road.
Okay, I can't argue against that.
More wine?
Yes, thank you.
And yeah, that's a perfect place to end the scene.
You know what? I can't read the freaking comments.
Yeah, since
Wait, D, is that you?
What did I do?
On the Nookasm count.
What I do? I didn't do anything. That's a stranger person.
stranger
That's a
person.
stranger
There's 5
person.
people who control that account. It's obviously not D, right?
What? Yeah, no, it can't be
That
me.
was just Cupid down the block. That's
Yeah.
all.
Right. Down the street.
So, since they are connected and everything, it's up to you whether I mean, obviously, I as the player has a little bit of say, but like I'm totally cool with it. It's up to you whether or not during these 10 years after that, whether they do get together or not, and that's totally fine.
Yeah. Can I still use like a token to see like what they're thinking?
Neko, is that I don't remember. My brain is like slowly being like la la la, need food at the moment. So I'll let Neko decide on that. I think it's only like maybe if you want to spend a token for them to send a letter to you regarding that, would be the closest thing. But yeah, connections don't get monologue tokens or anything in that
Okay.
respect. Yeah.
Then yeah, if I could just spend a token to have them write a letter to me, like probably after I leave or whatever you decide is appropriate.
Yeah. So let me just make that as a note since that would happen for next session. Yeah, I don't know why my brain is tough. You went too hard. That's that's why my brain turned
Look,
off.
I'm telling you, she is going to be a problem.
She's been a problem.
Out here making a
D,
scene.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, like, when Eula Mae's wedding, is everyone invited or know about it?
Oh, everyone is invited and knows about it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I will return for Eula Mae's wedding as well.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
that's the same year Mark comes back. That's perfect.
Wait, who's Eula Mae what marrying?
I don't know.
Some dude.
So this is
What if
how
it's Roy?
Ooh, what if it is? Well, actually, that's up to Inda.
Yeah.
But basically, for Minnie, she actually doesn't. She hasn't gone to Paris yet. A couple years, like when she's around 18, she actually ends up getting a apprenticeship with a dressmaker out in Louisiana. It's down in southern Louisiana, like near New Orleans. Her family's from northern Louisiana, so it's still very much of a culture shock for her. But while she's there, she learns French.
Oh.
Yeah, and because the person who she's interning for, or the person she's apprenticing for, is actually someone who is from like Paris, France. Whoop, shit. No, you just pushed it down. Oh, you did it again.
That wasn't me that time.
Oh, my
Oops, we
bad.
all
I'm
did
sorry.
it.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
I'll do it later.
So she works for that dressmaker for a while, and she ends up making pretty good progress. And about a year in, she actually gets a benefactor.
Oh.
And so she starts sending money back to her sister. Her sister's able to buy a house. Her sister starts dating someone. We'll figure out who it is. It might be Roy. But then a couple years later, her sister gets married, so she comes back for the wedding because she's actually going to make the wedding dress for her sister.
Ah.
And then after she comes back for the wedding, she stays for a bit, and then she goes and she ends up going to like New York and Quebec and all of these different places, because that's where she can go, because that's where her benefactor sends her. And she comes back in 10 years.
Excellent. Yeah, so yeah, just think about beneficiary. Yeah, are you going to become a beneficiary role? Brain. So yeah, definitely if you want to write notes to yourself in the timeline, seems like Dee's been doing a pretty good job. So we did have the one scene and one letter already. Yeah, just think about what significant scene or vignette you want to see that will determine like where your character is going. It would be good, like you can definitely use the vignette for like the bosom enemy stuff to see how that's transformed your character. And it doesn't, even if it's like all negative, doesn't mean you become an asshole, but it's just an aspect of your personality that might just rear its ugly head. I'm not necessarily going full asshole, but definitely am going the full dandy route, and we'll see what kind of trouble that happens for poor Matty. I'm still trying to figure out what's happening with him. And as a reminder,
is he a dandy, as in like a gentleman, or a little bit of a rake?
it's basically the Gilded Age version of a rake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not just fashion, my friends.
Yeah.
It's bad
They're,
news.
they're the partier. Technically, the Cosmopolitan is also, but everybody just thinks the Cosmopolitan is better at it. Whatever. Like, and as a reminder, you can make connection. We'll be making adult connections, and then and if there's any of the kid connections that you don't think is necessarily important in your life anymore, like even if like Roy does become the husband to Eula Mae, we can technically just NPC him, so that way if you need to have two connections that you need more so, like because it's no longer related to you technically, it's now related to someone else, you can do that. But you'll at least be making one adult connection. You can always make it a connection like for if you want to have a significant other, and it can be one that you like, save me from this significant other, like kind of thing, or like they're the beard for you or something like that, so the things to think about for next week. Just confirming, are we good for next week?
I am, yeah.
The ninth.
Should be.
Yeah.
This calendar does not show Father's Day on it. Huh.
I just got a real good idea. Hey,
Yeah.
Inda,
Yeah.
since it's your connection, how do you feel about Roy getting married to Eula Mae?
Oh, I don't feel any way about it.
Okay, cool. I have an unsent letter now.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, okay.
Also, this further down the line, but I think the 23rd, probably won't work for me. So
Okay.
that's a couple weeks still.
Yeah. That is also my birthday, so
Okay, yeah.
Aw.
yeah.
No episode on the 23rd. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Okay, so then lastly, yes, definitely. If you have not backed the Kickstarter, we have now 5 days left. We have $9,500 left in Australian money to go to get the city guides, and there's possibly others if we can get some last minute rolls. So if anybody who can afford it, there is no extra backer kit. So it's not like some where you can donate $1 now and then get access to it later. It's all through Kickstarter. So if you want to get the good deal and everything, now would be the time to do it. And there's also a tier for people who don't have enough money to at least get the digital copies. So definitely check out that tier. And yeah, so let's just quickly do rounds of stars and wishes, and then we can all head out. I'm excited for the rest of the passage of time and becoming adults.
Again, everybody is getting a star.
What for? Why?
Why? Yeah.
No, wait. Oh, it's still the Cupid. The Cupid was fucking hilarious. And wait, what was the conversation? It was before Rosemary and I think Matty talked.
Mhm.
Uh,
What was the conversation before? There was one.
Wait, no, the older kids. That's
Oh, the
what
older
it
kids.
was.
Yeah.
The Scooby.
Somebody just tell me how babies are made. I'm frustrated with not knowing this information because you keep laughing at me.
If I hadn't already spent my monologue token, I would ask for Minnie Mae's
Yeah.
PG themed, because we are on Twitch. When she finally finds out her monologue.
How babies happen?
Yeah. However long that takes.
She learns when she's like 25.
Yeah,
She learns when she learns after the passage of time.
exactly.
That fits where? How?
You
For
what?
real?
Comes out where?
And Dr. Marsh is
Baby
still
is
telling her,
supposed to
come
come
back
out
when
there.
you are in childbirth.
And people choose this?
You want to know
Exactly.
the funny part is the person she could ask is Dr. Marsh. Has she? No.
Honestly, because Dr. Marsh is the reason to kickstart all this stuff. So
Yeah. It is technically Marsh's fault. D, what are your stars?
I think So definitely stars for her, the Cupid. Also stars for none of us, like us just taking Rosemarie's word for what's happening in the book, even though Rosemarie doesn't really understand what's happening in the book. And we've come up, our idea of what Paris is delightful.
Exactly.
It's very delightful.
You guys don't bring luggage because you're like, we'll just be naked all the time.
We don't need it. And we go in like the middle of winter and it's freezing.
Yeah, exactly.
Freaking wolves have beset upon Paris.
And then are we doing wishes now or wishes after?
Just wishes after. So
Okay.
yeah, JP.
That's my star.
My stars are going to Rosemarie and Mark for being the relationship experts who are not really giving the best advice.
Not at all.
Excellent. Chris?
I really enjoyed Matty and Esther's that just was like heartbreaking, but also kids, right? Like, yeah.
I remember what a specific star I had. Coachella mode. I will think about that for the rest of my life.
I was thinking it, but I could not get myself to say it. So I'm glad someone else did.
That came from a place of me trying to think of how it's spelled in French and not being able to put it together in my head and just being like, Coachella mode.
Oh,
My star is Chris playing the absolute, I guess, like, autistic person, just like very much like, what? Cupid?
Social cues, not there. Not
me
at all.
me trying to act and like be stoic face and just not being able to. What's the responses? You gonna
Matty
shank you?
And Matty really saying you are a weird person. Like, what is
And to start for hot part.
Oh, okay. I must have missed this when the internet kicked me off. So Mark is pretty hot.
So
Well,
Mark
that's
goes to
what-
finishing school for like 2 years and
Oh.
comes back, and then
That's
he starts
smart.
helping out with Jessie's show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's learned manners and he's learned how to interact with people properly.
And he's
so
also learned oh shit.
And also to
that was my other star was she doesn't get cold.
doesn't get.
Uh-huh.
My other star is definitely to everyone else because committing to the bit of these like dumb children.
So fun.
Just
It was just so much fun just continually not understanding what is actually going on in that book.
Star for the book.
Yeah, star for the book.
also
Cold shoulder.
additional star to JP for the pursuit of Jessiness.
Aw.
That was really good.
That's a good line.
Because I feel like, okay, you either go two ways. Like either Esther is gonna grow out her puppy love, or it's gonna be like cranked up to 1,000, and I decided crank up to 1,000. Like if she's still kind of impulsive, but it's more like calculating, then yeah, she's gonna up to 1,000.
Makes sense. And Jessie appreciates it and realizes it's not just like an weird obsession or like, you know, still puppy love. It's like it's transformed. And so, yeah. All right. Wishes. My wish is for all the drama during passage of time. It could be that next session is completely all passage of time and we don't get to actually become adults until the next one. But
Yeah.
it'll be fun to have all this drama. Chris, what is your wish?
I definitely want to see a bit about the wedding. I think the wedding's going to be very entertaining.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if everyone is coming back just for their wedding. Oh, drama.
Awesome. D?
I'm actually excited to see Suave Mark. I want to see the advice that Mark has gotten himself and how he uses this suaveness.
I think he actually learns it. I don't think it's like weird Mark. I think he actually learns how to deal with people.
I know, and I'm excited for because here's the thing. I think Suave Mark happens and none of us are expecting it.
Nope.
So I'm just excited about Suave Mark and then everybody's reaction to Suave Mark being like, wait, hold, that's who? No.
It's the whole taking the nerdy glasses and realizing they're a hot model.
Hair gets fixed
this whole time.
Everybody being like, "Oh, hi, Mark."
Yeah, exactly.
I think the only thing Esther was like, well, makes sense. Look at their sibling. Like,
Yeah.
But Esther wanted the original.
right. I want their original.
JP, what are your wishes?
My wish is I don't know if I want to see a scene or some acknowledgement of Rosemarie learning what is actually that book is about. I can't wait.
It's going to be the funniest thing in the world. I can't imagine anything funnier.
Inda?
I wish Esther interacting with her little sister when her little sister is of a comparable age as the kids are now. Maybe like about 10 or so, like at the end of the passage of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come up with a name and everything.
Baby.
And it could become a connection if you're interested, even if they're young. I think that is everything. Thank you, everybody. Please go check out the Kickstarter. If you've already backed it, share it everywhere. I only just recently shared it on my Facebook. I remembered I have a Facebook and everything. And yeah, everybody have a fantastic night. Stay safe, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.